Nevermind poster. What would I have on my wall?
I've got a massive Hot Fuzz poster.
Oh, I think you'll find a little appearance by my good self in that. Yes, I was on screen for about 8
probably you
seconds.
shouldn't have that poster on your wall.
No, sure. So Hot Fuzz, okay, and anything else? What's big? What's big in comedy?
Big in comedy, all sorts of things. Mighty Boosh.
Sure.
Bit of extras.
Yeah, of course, yeah, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, thank you. You give me an interesting insight there into the student mindset. Because obviously I'm conscious that's much of my listenership, and I should... aren't the Mighty Boosh great?
I like it when they say all that funny stuff.
Yeah, I like it when they do weird stuff.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Dressing up.
We'll have appealed to a whole new demographic there. Brilliant. Okay, great. Thank you very much indeed, Alice. You've filled me in all kinds of ways.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you so much. Alice Whittaker there, and if you would like to contribute a song to the show, then Harry, how can people get in touch?
Well, what they should probably do, Steve, is go to the website, which of course is bbc.co.uk/6music. There's various links you could use to get to the page about the show. Just go there and then do stuff.
One of the posters I had on my wall when I was a student, and I suspect you did as well, Harry, was of course that for Copper Blue, one of the great albums of our student years.
Still in my top 5.
Absolutely, and a track from it. Here's Hoover Dam. Ooh. Hoover Dam by Sugar from the album Copper Blue, and of course we started the first Steve show with If I Can't Change Your Mind. It seems only appropriate now as we come back for another little run that we should play some more Sugar. I don't know why that should be appropriate. I've decided it is. I've decreed that it is.
It's a tradition.
Yeah, it's a tradition that we've just established. So of course we sadly only were able to welcome Sammy very late in the show. She's travelled all the way down and she's going to have to travel all the way back up north again now, which seems frustrating. So let's get our money's worth from you right now. Go.
4 weeks ago I was in a nightclub. Someone spilt a pint of Red Bull over me. I smelt like vomit. I had to go to the toilets and take my dress off. It turned out my knickers were also soaked through. My friend hand dried my dress. The knickers had to go in the bin. The door fell open. I was stood naked in a toilet in a pair of high heels.
That's a hell of a story. That's great.
And I'm sorry, but a real friend would have hand dried those knickers.
When you say hand dry, you using a hand dryer?
The hand dryer in the toilet to dry my dress, and I am very thankful that she did that because it meant I didn't smell of sick anymore.
Sure. Did you pop the dress back on? You carried on partying, I imagine.
Carried on, yeah.
Of course you did. Yeah, you're hardcore.
It takes a lot to stop me.
Sure. So that was
I'm in the groove.
that was week 1.
That was week 1.
Okay, we've already covered the hedgehog meteorite stuff. If you missed that earlier, then lucky you. And what else? What else in that 4 weeks? I know you had to make a note of it.
We went. I do have a note here just because I thought I would forget everything. So I've got nudity in a toilet.
Nudity in toilet done.
Oh,
Tick that off.
I got friction burns in a children's park and then returned 2 weeks later to scale a wall. I didn't get all the way up it because about 3/4 near the top I realised my greatest fear, there was a wasp in my hair.
Okay, friction.
Can't do fireman's poles. That's what I learned that weekend. I just can't do
You can't
them.
do fireman's poles.
I lean towards it like I am going to go down it, and then I just kind of stick to it like a fly sticks to fly paper, and then slide down it slowly, creating friction burns.
Wow. Do you have a job? What do you... I mean... Because what I find is extraordinary is that you rush through these stories because I don't give you much time, and there are just important elements missing, like why you were climbing a fireman's pole. I'm assuming that's not a euphemism.
No, it was during the day and, legitimately in a children's park. I just love parks. They're great fun. And I don't think adults should be denied that pleasure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did try and scale the wall and failed.
Okay, so scaled wall failed,
But
nudity...
I will be attempting that again.
Okay, good. Keep us posted on that one.
I wrote a song about a bear for my friend to keep her entertained because the stereo in my car's broken and she demanded that I sing to her.
Okay, let's hear it.
Old bear, he's not a new bear. His best friend is Jeremy Bear. Jeremy Bear, he's a slightly newer bear. His best friend is a very old bear. There's 3 whole verses, but that is the first one.
Okay, good. I think this show cannot contain you anymore. I think we're going to have to set you out in the wild, like Care in the Community, and you can just go and entertain people individually as you meet them on the street. Hello, I'm from BBC 6 Music. There is a bear, isn't there? Okay, listen, we wish we could talk more about the bear, but we've pretty much got to wrap the show up because I want to squeeze in some Can, the experimental Kraut Rockers, before the end of the programme, and a track from their album, which I can't pronounce. It's from 1972, you'll figure it out. It's the sort of sounds you might hear coming up next on the Steve Show. Thanks very much indeed to Harry. No, I mean not Steve Show. What's his name? Stuart McConey.
Yeah,
he does the Freak Zone. All right, enjoy that. And we'll meet up with you again next week. Harry will be back. Dan, are you around?
No, I'm not around next week.
All right, and hopefully you'll be back.
I'll try if public transport doesn't let me down.
Thank you very much indeed. Here's Can. Later, of course, covered memorably by Patti Smith. That's Van Morrison's old band, Them, and the song Gloria from 1964. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me, Stephen Merchant, and I'm afraid to say once again that we are pre-recording. We're live on tape from the BBC. I'm afraid that I'm off again doing more interesting things than my radio show, but I've taken time out from my busy and glamorous schedule to record this in the week, so don't bother emailing and texting and the like, because we will not be here to respond, although you could send them anyway, and we will ignore them when we are back in a week's time. I'm pleased to say that not only are my regular cronies Sammy and Harry here.
Alright.
Okay, that was your cue.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good. Well, sorry, we'll tighten that up later.
Yeah.
And but I'm also pleased to say we can welcome back possibly the poshest man that I know, and it's lovely to have him on Six Music. It adds a certain class, a certain sophistication, a certain classic Britishness to Six Music, which, let's be honest, is full of regional accents, mine being one of them. It's Rufus. So a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
We haven't seen him for a while.
Thank you.
Roof, I would love to find out how you've been getting on, because you know, I know you're a busy man, and you're a man who leads an exotic life.
Well, Steve, it's very sweet of you to welcome me to Six Music. Of course, only 10 or 15 years ago it would have been me giving you all jobs, you know.
Yes, exactly, absolutely.
Sending you on courses to have your strange Western accents ironed out.
Exactly, yeah.
Flatten those vowels and
Sure.
shorten those R's and all that sort of thing. But I'm back, and it's great to be back.
How the tables have turned, though. And
How they have.
You, the toffs now, who once would have been populating all kind of television and radio, now you can barely get work.
I know.
Because of your silly RP accent.
And the fact that I'm wearing a suit, which I always do when I do the radio show,
Yeah.
and I have a cigarette clamped in my hand,
Exactly.
with a small lectern in front of me.
Yeah. And you're wearing, I believe, a waistcoat.
Yes, pronounced Westgate.
Yeah.
That's going down. The listeners know that and love it about me, but it's not having any effect on any of you, which is disappointing.
Rufus, I will probe you more fully and find out where you've been and what you've been up to over the past month or so since we've last spoken to you. But let's have some more music first, because I've been told in the past that this first link can often get long, and a lot of the average MTV generation listener now can barely concentrate. In fact, because there's not even any music playing behind me, as there normally is. We in the industry call them a bed. There'd normally be like a kind of some kind of vague jazz thing, or maybe just some beats. But because there's none of that, people now just slumbering, dozed off at the wheel. But so we stick on a record and liven the back up. And this is a band. Is it Mando Dio? How do we pronounce it? No one knows. Who cares? Fair enough. Just enjoy it. Long before rock and roll. From the album Ode to Ocracy, that Swedish band Mando Dio, not quite sure how it's pronounced, and a tune called Long Before Rock and Roll. If the text lines were open, people would be furiously texting in saying you don't even know this band and how they're pronounced.
People do seem to get absurdly upset about mispronunciations.
So
don't they?
frustrated, yeah. Or if you don't know every intricate nuance of the band's history and the sort of serial numbers of their limited edition 7-inch releases, it's just absurd. Thank God that we don't have to associate with them. No, anyway, so we were catching up with Rufus before the tune. We've not seen Super Posh Rufus for a while. He was absent last week, and before that we were off, of course, for a month. I'm assuming that month was filled with lots of garden parties and the like,
Country fairs and so on.
you were probably at the proms, were you?
Yes, conducting the last night. Yes,
Sure.
exactly. Flag waving. I had a nice month. I went to super posh Greek island Santorini, which is very nice. A lovely holiday, blighted by a couple of things that
Foreigners?
Well, this is it. Partly blighted by the Brits themselves.
Sure.
I'm sure you can imagine the kind of fat, sunburnt, ugly people with whom I had to share the poolside.
Sure.
Particularly in Santorini.
Were my parents there?
They're people who you usually see on the pages of newspapers with plastic chairs in their hands,
Sure.
and pints in the other hand. And also, the Greeks have a big habit, and I don't know if other listeners have experienced this on holiday in the Greek islands, of playing loud music, loud Europop music.
You're right.
at
I've been
all
to Greece, and
times.
it's exactly right. Yeah.
Extraordinary. And so you expect it in the bars and tavernas and the restaurants and stuff to have a bit of bit of that, that's fine. But then you're on the beach just trying to relax a little bit and enjoy your holiday, and you get the really loud
I
from
love
all the
that
bars. And,
Number one hit that.
and they just there's nowhere on the beach, and my girlfriend and I ended up picking up the old lounger under the arm, the umbrella under the other, tramping along the black sand which is really hot, trying to find a bit of beach that didn't quad bike, drive around the island, get to a beach, go, anything, anything. Oh, right, lie down, and then it would start up again.
Because I went to one of the Greek islands with my parents ages ago on a little family holiday when I was probably 25, and they were paying. It seemed mad not to, and we were right next to a taverna. And all they seemed to have was 3 different tunes.
Oh, yeah.
And so he'd be lying there trying to get to sleep. It's sort of 11 o'clock, and he'd just hear, it's been 7 hours. and it would start again. Nothing but compares to you. That's all they seemed to have. And like, so we'd lie in there, and it'd be go quiet, and then that would come on again. And there was like 3 songs on a loop. And it was so swelteringly hot that my father spent the entire first day making us march around trying to find electric fans to buy. So that's all we did. And then all he would do for the rest of the days is whenever we went out, would just try and he'd run from sort of tree shade to tree shade. Just, you know what I mean? About like kids, like we were trying to escape from East Germany or something. You know, in the sort of in 1968. It was just one of the most bizarre holidays. And of course, in the end, I was quite happy because I found an English themed pub.
Oh,
that was showing Only Fools and Horses.
Nice.
The whole family went in there. We were happy as Larry.
The Greek, some of the Greek islanders seem to have only just discovered amplified music. It's with real joy that they kind of open the bar in the morning and go, yeah, I can put on my kind of, clubbing in Ibiza CD or whatever. And then we took one boat trip which went around. I don't know if people have been to Santorini. There's the red beach and black beach and white beach. There's all these volcanic beaches, and we swam off the boat, like a kilometre away from the beach, which was lovely. But this music was playing, so we felt like we were in a pop video or something. Because it started off with kind of some quite cool kind of atmospheric music, kind of loungy music, which is kind of nice. You thought, oh, this is kind of cool, and then you thought, no, I'm in the video of my own holiday.
Yeah.
And I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
I just want silence.
My dream is to actually be in one of those 50 Cent style pop videos when it's just women in bikinis on a yacht somewhere. But the reality is, if you were actually in that place, it'd be nightmarish.
Yeah.
The novelty of the bikini ladies would wear off, and then you would just for about 8 hours, and you couldn't escape because you're moored, in the middle of the
And let's face it, if you were right there, we'd just get bullied, wouldn't we? By Kanye or P. Diddy or whoever's there. They'd just be bullying us about our appearance and our voices.
Or you and your +4s.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and my knotted handkerchief hat. I used to wear them. No, I did. I used to wear them. I used to wear them at nightclubs, ironically. And it was one woman once said, "Oh, I like your knotted handkerchief hat," but I think she was being sarcastic. Anyway, have you ever been to Jamaica? Just because they sometimes have reggae, and this next track's got a bit of a reggae thing. I'm trying to do a link.
I'm going to Barbados soon.
Thank you. Brilliant. Excellent.
That
Great.
works.
Well, you might listen to this on the airplane.
Brilliant.
Sideshow by Barry Biggs. It's important if you are a Six Music DJ to know about reggae and know about all the ins and outs of reggae and stuff. Otherwise, that's what really marks you out as a Six Music DJ. And so I'm pleased to tell you that you can find that track on the albums I Love Reggae, This Is Reggae, Now That's What I Called Reggae, Ultimate Reggae, Hey Mon, Here's Some Reggae,
Calypso Classics.
Calypso Classics, Reggae, Reggae Sauce. Songs for making love to reggae women and stuff. So so if you enjoyed that, then seek out on one of those. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, pre-recorded earlier in the week, so do not bother texting or emailing. I'm here with Harry, he's a banker, Sammy, she's professional northerner, and Rival, actually, you're not professional, are you?
No, I'm
really?
semi-professional. I'm keeping that status to compete in the Olympics.
Absolutely. and of course, Super Posh Rufus. And Rufus, it's your musical choice first up this week, because I should just point out, in case you're a new listener to the Steve Show, the whole point of having my cronies here is because it's a kind of interactive music show. You, the listeners, can suggest tunes, although not this week. We haven't had a chance to sort one out. And then these guys as well recommend songs to me, stuff that I maybe not be familiar with. And Ruf, what have you chosen for me?
Stephen, this week I've come very late to Randy Newman, the song